everyone, welcome back to my channel. Myself Daini Thomas, working in AIMS New Delhi. So, in the previous video, we learned about coronary anatomy. Okay, a few parts of coronary anatomy. So, we learned about the chambers, layers, okay, and the valves of the heart. And we didn't complete the valves. We had a little portion left. So let's see the valves of the heart. Okay, so there are two types of valves: atrioventricular valves and semilunar valves. Okay, there are total four valves in the heart. Four valves and two atrioventricular and two semilunar. Okay, two atrioventricular and two semilunar. So the two atrioventricular valves, those are mitral and tricuspid valve. They are known as atrioventricular valves because those lies in between the atria and the ventricle. Okay. In the heart, you can see this is atria and this is ventricle. So between the atria and ventricles lies the atrioventricular valves of mitral valve and tricuspid valve. Okay, and next to semilunar valves, they lies just below the great arteries. So the great arteries are pulmonary artery and aorta. Okay, so the pulmonary artery that goes from RV, right ventricle, and the aorta that goes out from the LV or left ventricle. So where the aorta leaves the left ventricle, there is a valve known as semilunar valve. That valve is known as semilunar because the cusp of the valves look like a half moon. Okay, lunar, semi-lunar means half moon. So those cusp look like a half moon. And these two semilunar valves are they have three cusps or three leaflets. Okay, and from RV goes the pulmonary artery, and there is the pulmonic valve, aortic valve and pulmonic valve. So this is about the valves. Yesterday we left to say this point, so just to add to that. Okay, next we'll learn about the heart sounds. So which are the so when do these valves close? When do these valves close? When the atria is contracting or when there is atrial depolarization, this should open, right? The valve between atria and ventricle should open when the atria is contracting. Then only the blood can flow through into the ventricles. Okay. So during atrial systole, the atrioventricular valves will open. Okay, and when the ventricle is during that time, ventricle is in the relaxed period or in the diastole. Okay, so when the ventricle will be contracting, what will happen? This atrioventricular valves will close. Okay, so that closing of the atrioventricular valves, that will cause a sound that is S1. Okay, that is the first start sound or lub. Okay, first start sound or lub is formed by the closing of the atrioventricular valves of mitral and tricuspid valve. Okay, and the second hard sound is formed when the ventricles are contracting. Okay, when the ventricles contract, these two valves close and this will open. Okay, aortic and pulmonic valve will open. Okay, so blood will flow to the aorta and pulmonary artery. And once the pulmonary artery and aorta is filled, what will happen? The ventricles goes into the diastolic period. Okay, ventricles go to a relaxing period. That time, blood is in the great arteries and ventricle has only the end systolic volume. During that time, these semilunar valves will close. That closure will lead to a sound called S2, or it's also known as dub. Okay, lub dub. You may have heard about this lub dub. So first sound is lub and second is dub. First is formed by the closure of the atrioventricular valves, and S2 is made by the sound of the closure of semilunar valves. Okay, so this is about the heart sounds. So next we will see the cardiac cycle. So cardiac cycle, the total duration is of 0.8 seconds. Okay, one cardiac cycle is of 0.8 seconds. And what all things will come in that? There will be atrial contraction, then atrial relaxation, and ventricular contraction and ventricular relaxation. Okay, so the first thing that happens should be the atrial systole. The systole word always denote the contraction of the chamber. Okay, systole means contraction and diastole means relaxation. Okay, systole and diastole, contraction and relaxation. So the first thing that should happen is atrial systole. Before atrial systole, what will happen? The blood from the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, and the coronary sinus will drain to the RA, and the blood from the lungs will drain to the LA through the pulmonary veins. Okay, so the atria is getting filled. That time atria is in a relaxed state or in the atrial diastole. And after that, what will happen? The atrioventricular valves will open and 70% of the blood will flow to the ventricles. Okay, without atrial contraction itself, 70% of the blood will flow to the ventricles. After that, 30% of the blood will flow to the ventricles by atrial systole. That part is known as atrial kick. Okay, atrial kick, 30%. So the whole blood will drain to the ventricles. Next, what will happen? Atria will go to a relaxed state. Okay, so atrial systole will take 0.1 seconds. Okay, and next comes the atrial diastole. So atrial diastole contributes around 0.7 seconds. Okay, and next comes the ventricular. When the atria is contracting, ventricle is in the diastolic stage. Okay, and when after the ventricular diastole, or when the ventricle gets filled, what will happen? It will contract and the blood is ejected into the great arteries. So atrial systole, then comes the ventricular diastole, and next is the ventricular systole. So ventricular systole, that takes around 0.3 seconds, and ventricular diastole, it takes around 0.5 seconds. Okay, so totally it will take 0.8 seconds. In the 0.8 second, atrial systole takes 0.1 and diastole takes 0.7, and in the ventricles, systole takes 0.3 and diastole takes 0.5 seconds. Okay, totally it contributes around 0.8 seconds. Okay, next we will learn about the coronary circulation. So now you are clear with the valves, heart sounds, cardiac cycle, and next we will learn about the coronary circulation. So coronary circulation, do you know? Okay, this is the aorta. Aorta is the artery that goes from the LV. Okay, from the LV. So here is the aortic valve, and this part is known as aortic sinus. Okay, the area where aortic valve is present, that area is known as aortic sinus, and the cusp of the aortic valve that forms a hard portion here, that is known as sinus of Valsalva. Okay, the portion that is formed in the aortic sinus area by the aortic cusps. Okay, that is known as sinus of Valsalva. And just above the aortic sinus, two coronary arteries origin. Okay, two coronary arteries origin from the aortic sinus. That is the first division of the aorta. If in exam it is asked that which is the first division of aorta, and that answer is coronary arteries. Okay, so it divides into two, and this is right coronary artery, and this is left coronary artery. And the left coronary artery, the first portion is known as left main coronary artery. Okay, left main. You may have heard about left main disease, like that doctors may be talking. So this is left main coronary artery, and that divides into two. Okay, that divides into two. One portion comes to the anterior. Okay, and one branch goes to the left side. Okay, so from the aortic sinus area, two arteries arise, left and right coronary arteries, and the left coronary artery, that is known as left main coronary artery, that divides into two. One portion comes to the anterior side, okay, and another branch goes to the left side of the heart. Okay, so this portion is known as left main area. And so what is this area known as? This is the interventricular septum. Okay, interventricular septum is the septum or the wall that divides the two ventricles. So in the if you look anatomically, there is a groove or a depression in the anterior portion of the heart. Okay, this is known as interventricular AV sulcus. Sorry. This is interventricular sulcus. Okay, anterior interventricular sulcus. So the first branch of left main coronary artery that goes down to the anterior portion through the interventricular sulcus or groove. Okay, this branch is known as left anterior descending artery. Left anterior descending. Okay, so from the name itself it is clear. It is from the left main coronary artery and it is going to the anterior side and it is descending. Okay, it is coming down. And the second branch of left main is known as left circumflex. Okay, circumflex. Left circumflex artery, and that goes behind to the posterior portion of the heart. Okay, laterally to the posterior portion of the heart. And also there are small branches coming down, those are known as obtuse marginal and diagonal branches. Okay, obtuse marginal, you may have heard about OM1, OM2 and all, and D1 and D2. These are diagonal branches, and OM is obtuse marginal and obtuse marginal 2, diagonal 1 and diagonal 2. So these are the branches of left main coronary artery. And the right coronary artery, that arises from here and it goes through the coronary sulcus. The sulcus or the groove between atria and ventricles is known as coronary sulcus. Okay, coronary sulcus. This area is known as the coronary sulcus. So the right coronary artery, it travels through the coronary sulcus and it divides into two. One artery comes down, that is known as right marginal artery. Right marginal, that comes to the right side of the heart. Okay, it goes down to the right ventricle side. Okay, and another portion, it goes behind. Okay, it goes behind and it forms the posterior descending artery. Okay, posterior descending artery. So can you say where it goes? It goes behind and posteriorly it goes and descending. Okay, descending artery. So anteriorly, that the artery that is coming is left anterior descending, and this is posterior descending artery. Okay, and these two, the left circumflex that is coming like this, and the posterior descending artery that meets in a point. Okay, that is known as crux. Okay, crux. And the posterior descending artery supplies mostly the right ventricles and posterior portion of left ventricle. Okay, the posterior descending artery supplies the posterior portion of the heart. Okay, but in case in 80% people, posterior descending artery supplies the posterior portion, but in case the left circumflex also in some cases supplies the posterior portion. Okay, if PDA is supplying the posterior portion, those people are known as right dominant. Okay, right dominant circulation. They are having right dominant circulation. If the posterior descending artery is supplying the posterior portion, those people are known to have right dominant circulation. And if the left circumflex is supplying the posterior portion, those people are known as having left dominant circulation. Okay, so that is known as dominance. You can see all these in the angiography report, so you may have to note all these points. Okay, so in the coronary circulation there are two branches, right and left. The left coronary artery or left main coronary artery, it divides into two, left anterior descending and left circumflex. Left anterior descending comes down to the anterior portion, and left circumflex goes to the back side and the lateral part of the left ventricle. And the right coronary artery that comes to the through the coronary sulcus and divides into two. One is right marginal and next is posterior descending artery. And the posterior descending artery supplies the posterior portion of right and left ventricles, and right marginal, it supplies the right lateral portion of the heart. Okay, and right coronary artery, it also supplies the SA node and AV node. SA node and AV node is also in most people supplied by the right coronary artery. That's why whenever the patient is having right coronary artery occlusion or blockage, the patient is at risk of developing arrhythmias. Okay, and in few cases left main coronary artery will supply the SA node and AV node. Okay, so which artery is known as a widow making artery? Do you know? One of the arteries is known as widow making artery. Widow making. Widow making artery. So that is left anterior descending, because most of the portion or the left ventricle is supplied by the left anterior descending. So left ventricle is the main or important chamber in the heart that supplies blood to whole body. Okay, so in case left main or left anterior descending artery is blocked, in that case the patient may die. Okay, and the person can become a widow. That's why LAD is known as widow making artery. Okay, LAD is known as the widow making artery. And so now you know the coronary circulation. So can you say, if a patient is having anterior wall MI, which artery may be blocked? If the patient is having anterior wall MI, which artery is blocked? That may be left anterior descending artery. Okay, and if a patient is having posterior or posterolateral or lateral wall MI, in that case, which artery may be blocked? The patient may be having left circumflex artery blockage. Okay, left circumflex artery blockage. If the patient is having anterior as well as lateral wall MI, which artery may be blocked? That is left main coronary artery. Okay, and if the patient is having right lateral MI or inferior wall MI, then it may be because the right coronary artery is blocked. And if the patient is having posterior wall MI, PDA may be blocked. Or if the patient is having left circumflex branch supplying to the posterior portion, then left circumflex may be blocked. Okay, this is about the uh, connection between arteries and MI. Are you clear? Hope that is clear for you. We'll wind up for today. So this is about the coronary circulation. So tomorrow we'll learn about the coronary veins and further portions. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and share to your friends also. If you want any topics to be taken, you can write in the comment box so that we'll make videos on those topics. Thank you so much.